Hey guys, I'm gonna try this again. This is about take number 4, and I tried a few hours ago and I kept sneezing, so I stopped. So hopefully I can get through this without sneezing because I still don't have any editing software that I know how to use. So we're gonna see how this goes. It's Saturday, June 30th, 2018, and I'm gonna try to do my June update. We'll see how this goes. I have a finish, yay, and some progress, and some plans, and a little tiny bit of haul, and so we'll see. Um, First, the finish. I finished, as promised, the bookshelf by Little House Needleworks. Um, I started this in February 2016, and I finished it on June 11th. And I think I used the called for fabric and all of the called for DMCs. I think the only thing that I changed was I changed the metallic. It called for DMC metallic. We all know that DMC metallic is horrible, so I switched it to Krynic. I don't really have a problem with Krynic. I don't mind using Krynic, but I do mind using DMC metallic, so I changed it to Krynic. So there it is. I'm very glad that it's done. This is my last large project that was on my cleanup list, so it's good to have that done, and I'm very happy with it. Um, I'm going to take um, the Ohio map to the framer like in September, and I might take that with it and get that framed with it. Um, so there's my finish, and that is my 6th finish for the year. So yay! Um, June was Wine and Whips and Stitch Mania, which is work on a piece that makes you whine. And so I worked on Shabbat Table Topper. And the reason it makes me whine is because of the 18 count anaclaw. I do not like it. It's better than it used to be, but when I first started using it, it was itchy and it's fuzzy and it's hard to work with. It's okay now. It seems like the fuzz has kind of gone away and it's gotten a little bit easier to deal with. But when I first started working with it, I did not like it. Um, so this is the Shabbat Table Topper by Dutch Treat, Claudia Ducher. And so there we are. And if you remember, um, this is hard to manage, but if you remember when I showed it last month, I had these 3 bottom squares completed, and I had wanted to finish these 2 squares here on the edge, and I did the menorah square, the Star David square, but then I still had time, so I finished this top menorah square. Um, I probably could have finished this last menorah square over here, but I didn't. I just decided to call time. I did 3 squares, so that's plenty. I was happy with that. Um, and so I was happy with that. Um, I don't know when this project will come out again. It may come out later this year. My guess is that it's going to come out in January as my work project. If not, then it might not come out until next June when we do Wine and Whips again. Um, it's I only have to do those 2 squares left, and then there's a bunch of border, and it's a good candidate for a work project. So it might become my work project in January. Um, so we'll see on that. And then because I didn't want to go on to the next menorah, I still had a couple days left in June for work, and so I did. Where did it go? Here it is. I stitched on Spring Bunny Love for a couple days. And you can barely see it in the camera, but I did the some of the leaves, and I started on the flower in the bottom border. And I'm not thrilled with the Sophie's Pink. It's too light. I wish it was a little more solid. I wish it was a little darker, but I'm not gonna pull it out. I don't hate it enough that I'm gonna pull it out. Because I'm stitching this over one and just pulling it over one sex. So we're gonna go with it. And I kind of wish that the green was a little bit darker too. I'm using uh, green tea ice cream from 6 Strand Sweets for the green, and I wish it was a little darker. But it looks okay in real life, actually. It's still very light, but so that's what I did for a couple days after I called time on Wine and Whips. So there's Spring Bunny Love. It's a freebie on the Snowflower Diaries website. And then since March, I've been talking about this goal since March, I think. And I'm going to finish page 3, I'm going to finish page 3, I'm going to finish page 3. And finally in June, I got my behind in gear. And I finished just about finished page 3. Close enough to count. They say close only counts in horseshoes. It also counts in cross stitch. And I'm counting this as page 3 finished. I got a few miscellaneous things to do. I got to fill in the white on the rocker on the rocking horse, and the little binding on the tassels, the little piece on the bottom of the tassel that holds the pieces together. I got to do that. And the this right here is the part of the B block. This is the A block, and the C block. This is part of the B block. I got to do that. But you can see that straight line. That's where page 3 ends. And so I'm pretty happy with that. This is Under the Evergreen by Teresa Wensler. It's available on Patterns Online. So I'm excited to get into page 4. I'm going to try to do that when I finish this video. Page 4 has more of the rocking horse. It's got the rocking horse's back legs and stomach, and it's got the bottom of the jack-in-the-box and the top and the drum and the bugle. And so I'm excited to get into page 4. I think it's got less floor than page 3, which I'm happy about because I'm so tired of the floor. But so I'm excited to get into page 4. So there's Under the Evergreen. As far as Teresa Wensler goes, this is probably one of her easier pieces. No fractionals. Relatively few blended threads. It's still about a third of the colors are blended, but for Teresa, that's relatively few. And the confetti isn't too bad. There's some confetti, but it's not too bad. So there's Under the Evergreen. Hopefully when I see you next month, I will have some of page 4 done. And that's what I worked on this month. The goal that I missed is I did not finish one of my cleanup pieces. Well, no, that's not true. I did, because the bookshelf was a cleanup piece. I wanted to finish one of the smaller ones, and I didn't do that. But July, maybe I'll finish one in July. I have 5 left, including Spring Bunny Love. So, Paul, I did not get my order from Stitching Bits and Bobs yet. Surprise, surprise. But I did buy on Stash and Load I talked about this last month. I didn't have it yet. Ooh La La by Sue Hillis. So I was going to stitch. I saw this when I was looking for something to stitch for an acquaintance of mine before she left, and I didn't do anything for her. But I saw this. She would have loved it, but I thought it was cute. So it came up on Stash and Load, and I bought it. So this might be my next start. I don't know. Yeah, maybe we'll discuss Laurel and new starts. Um, so there's that. And then on my previous take of this video, I had said that I'm not going to buy anything because of my July plans. And then I went and I ordered some Soda Stitch charts from 3L Threads. So I totally broke that plan not to buy anything. But that's all I'm going to buy. And I'll tell you about my July plans. But I'm not going to be able to get Soda Stitch as part of my July plans. So I bought them from Trisha at 3L Threads. So July plans. I'm going to do something on page 4 on Under the Evergreen. My work project, and this is why I only worked on Spring Bunny Love for a few days, because I had plans for July already, and I didn't want to start them before July, but I didn't want to continue on Shabbat Tabletop either. So my work project for July, and probably until Thanksgiving at the end of November, is Mirabilia's Deepest Love. And this is another one of those projects that Laurel started back in 2005 or 6. I'm guessing it was probably 6. Might have been 5. My mom was in Ohio. That's all I know. And that's how I know when it was, is because my mom was in Ohio. And my mom left for Ohio in September of 2005, and she was gone for most of 2006. So it was somewhere in there. And so this is what I have done on it. I did 1 or 2 days on it, and I never touched it again. But this is what I have. And I think that's her belly and part of her tail. And that's all I have. So this is going to be my work project. The fabric is not showing true at all. It kind of looks like a sky blue or like a cloudy blue on screen, but it's more of an aqua, like a water, like a swimming pool kind of blue. That I probably got from Sugar Maple back in the day. I don't know what it's called, but I probably got it from Sugar Maple because a lot of the existing dyers didn't exist back then, but Sugar Maple did. So I'm hoping that by November, by Thanksgiving, it's going to be far enough along that I'm going to be able to bring it home and finish whatever's left and beat it and have it done before the end of the year. So that's my stitching plan for work for most of the rest of the year, is Deepest Love. I am going on vacation in July, and I'm going to go to Vegas for a few days. And so well, I don't want to take Spring Bunny Love because I don't want to try to stitch over 1 and hotel lighting. I don't want to mess with over 1. And my next plan was, after Spring Bunny Love, was to stitch on Mill Squirrel. And that's not really a bad plan, but I don't want to mess with beads. So option C, which turned out to be perfect because Melanie at Soulful Stitching is having she's calling it 31 Days of Christmas Bliss, I think, but it's essentially Christmas in July. And so I hope I have it here. Oh, no. I thought I had it handy here, but apparently I don't. Um, so my plan is to stitch on Candy Cane Piglet. And I know I've shown it before. It's Piglet holding onto a candy cane. It's part of a set. I did Pooh like in 2009, and they have Piglet, Tigger, and Eeyore. So I'm going to take that to Vegas with me. And that will be my July cleanup list project. Um, and I'm not sure. Yeah, that'll be my July cleanup list project. I might try to pull another project in, another WIP, maybe Margaret Bendig, maybe Shabbat Tabletopper, maybe um, Flower Bride from Heaven and Earth. I don't know. I might try to pull something else in. Uh, so yeah, that's my plans for July. Mirabilia Madness this past week or two, I did not participate. It was crazy. Like Garrett said on his video about Wichelt, it's just a chart, people. But I did buy. The only thing that I did do is I did buy the cameo chart. I haven't decided about Lady Mirabilia yet. She's pretty. I have a lot of Mirabilia. I haven't decided if I'm gonna get her. Um, the 5 that they had re-released, I have 4 of them, which makes it easy for me to say it's just a chart. I know, I get that. Um, and the 5th one, the one that I don't have is Butterfly Fairy, and I'm not that concerned about that. When she first got released, somebody um, made an observation, and I won't repeat it because it's one of those things that kind of once you see it, you can't unsee it, and I don't want to ruin it for you, so I won't say what it is, but yeah. And I have, even without that, I have a lot of other mirrors that I would rather stitch, so I kind of, let that one pass. And the only thing I did is I did get the cameo. So, um, yeah. I posted a few weeks ago in Stitch Mania about how we need to be nice to our vendors, and that Wichelt Mirabilia craziness was the reason why a post like that is needed once in a while. Because the things that were said to Wichelt or about Wichelt, the things that were said to and about some of the shop owners, one of them came on the group and said, "Hey, I've been cussed out, and I've been called names, and I've been screamed at, and you guys, that's unacceptable. That's not cool. It's not their fault that Wichelt handled things the way they did. If the shop owners could have given everybody who wanted to win a chart, they would have. And we need to be nice to our vendors. And going and screaming and cussing out Wichelt is not going to help. So we need to be kind to our vendors and remember that our vendors are people, and they do the best they can most of the time. There's a few vendors that are not very good, but most of the vendors try really hard and they do the best they can, and we need to be nice to them. Um, so yeah, I think the I think that's it. There was a little bit of controversy about Teresa Winslow. I know there was at least one other Stitch at Claire who talked about this in one of her videos. Um, but Teresa took down her Dragon Designs off Patterns Online she didn't say too much about it, but essentially she took him down for religious reasons. And there was a lot of fuss about that, and a lot of people who were like, "Oh, I don't agree with her. I'm not going to buy her charts anymore." Um, I don't roll like that. People are entitled to do that if they want. I don't roll like that. I don't think it's productive. It might make you feel better. Fine, go for it. I don't agree with her. I know a lot of Christians who feel that way. New Christians, certain denominations teach that way and encourage their members to think that way. Um, I I don't believe that there's anything wrong with being a Christian and liking dragons or liking fantasy, um, Harry Potter, any of that kind of stuff. So I understand where she's coming from. I know a lot of people that feel that way. A lot of stitchers who don't stitch fantasy, stitch unicorns, stitch certain things because of that. They don't read Harry Potter. Um, they have the right to do that. I don't agree, but I understand where Teresa's coming from. She has the right to feel that way. I also know, though, that a lot of people with those opinions, as they mature and they learn, and sometimes their social circle changes, they change churches, they change the people that are influencing them, uh, they change their mind. And, you know, so it's sad for us who love to stitch Teresa's dragons, and they're probably going to become victims of the eBay gouging market. Uh, so it's unfortunate for us as stitchers who love her dragons that they're going to become difficult to obtain. But she's entitled to her beliefs, and she's entitled to run her business the way she wants. And um, it's it's unfortunate for us, but she may change her mind someday. I know a lot of people with those convictions, they do change their mind down the road, and she may put them back up someday. So that's what I have to say about Teresa Winsler. Um, and uh, life update. I got my test score. Remember last month I said I had taken the paralegal test again, and last year I had gotten, or in 2016 when I took it, got a 99 on it. This year I wasn't expecting to get a 99 on it because come on, but I got a 95.8, so I'm still in band one. So we'll see. I didn't get higher last time, but maybe this time. The new fiscal year starts on July 1st, starts tomorrow, and so everybody gets money again. So I expect sometime during July and August I'll start getting phone calls to interview because people have money to hire again. So that's where that is. And um, oh, I totally forgot Vegas. Vegas. I started talking about Candy Cane Piglet. I forgot Vegas has a stitching shop. Duh! And I know a lot of you have been there, Stitcher's Paradise. I was there about 14 years ago. I was there in 2004. Chandra Tasha was there. Annette's Acre was there. Um, and we had to get together. Teresa Winslow was there, speaking of Teresa. And um, it was fun. But I'm looking forward to going back. I don't have a stitching shop here that I can just pop into when I want. The one that I used to go to right around that same time, 2003, 2004, 2005, was sold. The new owner is not interested in cross stitch. Um, she does needlepoint and knitting. And when she first opened, or when she first took over, if you tried to get a cross stitch product from her, yeah, good luck with that. She wasn't going to order it. Um, I quit going in there. I went in there 2 or 3 times and I stopped going because I tried to get her cut. I tried to get a piece of fabric from her and I had to fight with her about how to cut it. Because she was going to cut it too small. Um, and then the shop that used to be in Orange County, I think, is if I'm understanding correctly, they're between locations. They left their last location and they were looking for a new location. I think they've been having financial problems because they keep moving to smaller and smaller locations. And I saw something from, I think, one of the stitchers in Orange County who said, I'll be surprised if she reopens. So, and that's not very convenient for me to get to. There's one in Burbank, not convenient for me to get to. And I was there once. I didn't really like it that much. Um, so usually if I need something, I order online. So it's going to be exciting to go to Stitcher's Paradise again, be able to like look at stuff and buy stuff and see stuff in person. Um, I'm excited about that. I do go to wear Victoria's Angel Stitch when I'm in New York, but um, I'm kind of sad that I'm not going to New York this year. But it's too expensive. I've been 3 years in a row, and I don't have the money this year. Um, and so I decided to go a little cheaper, a little closer to home, go to Vegas, fewer hotel nights, cheaper airfare. I bought a ticket to see Cirque du Soleil's O, so I'm excited about that. Gonna go to Stitcher's Paradise. Uh, and I don't need to go to New York to see my brother. My brother's been here twice. He was here in February. He was here in April. So I've seen him. So I love New York. I'm kind of sad that I'm not going, but that's the way it is. Maybe next year. Um, maybe next year I'll have a better job or yeah, maybe next year I'll get promoted and I'll have a little more money. But I don't have the money to spend in New York this year. And then when I'm in New York, I spend a lot of money because I do a lot of shopping. So yeah, this trip I hope is a lot cheaper than New York. Um, finishing, not finishing, starting new starts. Yeah, let's talk about Laurel and new starts. I'm kind of rambling, huh? Um, let's talk about Laurel and new starts. I am down to 30 WIPs, which I can't even tell you the last time I had 30 WIPs. I might have been in college. I think last month I said I was playing high school. I think it was probably later than that. But I think since I got out of college, I think I've consistently had between 35 and 40 WIPs. Or even, I think I was up to 46 or 47 at one point. And I've been working for several years to get it down. And I've adopted some pieces out. Some pieces ended up getting retired. Like, y'all remember the sad story of Legends of the Dragons that didn't fit on the fabric I had it on. Um, and so, and I've been finishing a lot. I've been restricting new starts to mostly small pieces that I can finish quickly. Um, and so I have I finished a lot of pieces, and I've gotten my WIP list down to 30. For the first time in ever, I can see like a realistic path to 25 WIPs by the end of the year because the pieces that I want to finish are small and easy to finish, like the Mill Hill Squirrel and the Candy Cane Piglet ornament, and I have a couple of other like ornament-sized pieces. But I keep thinking, I have all of this stash and all of this fabric and all of this stuff, and none of it gets used because I keep working on stuff that I started 15 years ago, like Deepest Love and Shabbat Table Topper and Under the Evergreen. So, and I keep thinking I should start something, but I feel like no, I don't want to start anything because I have all these WIPs and I want to get my WIPs down, and I don't want another big project because I have a bunch of big projects, and so I've been really having a battle with myself over my stash and over my new starts or lack thereof, and I'm not really sure how I'm going to resolve it. One of the things that I did do last night is I did go through my stash and I weeded out some stuff where I was like, yeah, I'm not going to work on this. I'm not going to stitch this. And I made a box, and I have another box that's buried behind the couch over here. There's a pile of boxes, and I think it's at the bottom of the pile somewhere that I need to pull out. I have another box. So watch out in the stitching groups at some point. in the near future. I don't know when. Um, I'm gonna try to post some stuff. It'll probably not be in Stash and Load because they have too many rules. Oh my gosh, the hoops you have to jump through to post in Stash and Load. No, so it'll probably be in one of the other groups. Um, so stay tuned for that. I have some stuff from ages ago. One of the things that I have is a Dimensions Gold kit from when they still came in bags. You guys remember they used to come in like a gift bag kind of thing. It was black and it had a paper cover on it with the picture and the information about the design. I have one of those. It's a Christmas one, and it's cute. But I have so much Christmas stuff that I'm not likely to stitch that. I have 1,000 Christmas pieces I would rather do. So that's going to be in there. There's all kinds of stuff in there. So stay tuned for a little stash sale. But even just going through there and making the box of these are the things that I'm no longer gonna get, that I'm gonna sell, and I'm never gonna stitch them. I feel better. Like I feel like ah. So I guess where I am with my stash and with my finishing and my starting is I just feel like overwhelmed. Like I have so much stuff and so many WIPs, and I'm never gonna get through all of this, and how am I gonna manage all of this? And I need to like pare down, and I need to make this more manageable. And I think that's how I feel about my WIPs too. That I have 30 WIPs, and I want to get that down. And if I start something, then so I don't have any answers. I don't have the solution to any of this, but this is where I've been for the last little while. And so I haven't been buying very much, um, unless it comes from stitching bits and bobs and takes 3 months to arrive. And uh, so yeah, that's where I am on this finishing and starting and stashing. Just kind of overwhelmed and at critical mass in some ways. Like if I buy one more thing, if I fire one more thing, if I start one more project, I'm gonna scream. So having that box where I was like, okay, I'm gonna get rid of these things, and my cabinet looks less messy and looks like it can breathe. It doesn't look stuffed. I just feel like so yeah. So I think that's probably enough rambling from me. We're at 32 minutes. So I'm going to continue my journey in July of finishing WIPs and reducing my WIP list and selling some stuff and trying to contain my stitching life a little better because it feels out of control and messy and yeah. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful July. Happy summer. July is my birthday month. So happy birthday if you have a July birthday. And have a happy 4th if you're in America. And I will see you next month. Bye.